Sam here. And if you've been watching this market rocket higher since April, you're probably wondering if there's room left to run. There may or may not be. However, I do have three stocks here that I think do have room left to run. I'm not going to keep them from you. They're Tesla with the pay package news, NBIS, and GLW. That's Corning is the company name. I would be careful with these, but if you want to look at why I chose them and why I still think they have a lot of potential and their buys right here, despite the market possibly pulling back another 3 to 5%, let's jump into that. So, starting with Tesla, um, they did have the pay package news. Elon Musk got his $56 billion package approved by shareholders. There's some support from institutions. That's basically what that signals. Long-term alignment, stability of the CEO. It's Elon, okay? They still love Elon. We all love Elon. Well, obviously not all of us, but Tesla also had earnings with sort of stabilizing margins and 40,000 plus Cybertrucks produced this year, which is good because we were kind of worried that Cybertrucks were, kind of out with the whole them getting burned and stuff thing. But they're real. They're on the road. They're scaling production. And if you're looking for a company to doubt, go ahead and doubt Tesla, but it keeps proving that it's holding up here. Elon's cut ties with the, administration directly. Those, friends are still helping with the crypto stuff and all that. And as far as Tesla itself, they went from near zero profits, right? 5 years ago, near zero profits to over 15 billion in net income last year. Net income probably is not exactly the same as profits, but it sounds good. And Optimus is starting limited factory testing. That did get pushed back about 5 years, but FSD revenue is starting to get unlocked globally. There's a lot of optionality here, and we are beaten down a lot again since the blow off top of the, election euphoria that Elon was in the bright center of. So we're up over 75% since April lows. Not actually. I mean, we were up 75% and now we sort of came back a little bit, but we're holding this $300 level, which is a big deal. And this is definitely the most transformational large cap company you can buy that has sort of meme stock potential without the risk of it being an actual meme stock, like buying GameStop. It's Tesla. It's real, even though everyone hates on them. So next there's Corning, GLW, had this massive move holding up over earnings. It's not a flashy stock. You probably haven't heard of it. I hadn't heard of it, but it's getting some attention lately. They have this partnership with AT&T for their fiber rollout. AT&T is very much a relevant company, even though it's not as consumer facing as Tesla or Apple, like our iPhones. The deal is worth over $1 billion, and it will be the backbone for the next wave of data infrastructure. Or that would be what their ad would say. But this isn't just internet, it's edge computing. So, AI data centers can use this build out. And they're not just making fiber, they're also working in automotive glass and semiconductor substrates. So they're a little more, sticking around. They're not just touch and go like some flashy AI billion-dollar valuation company. And they're part of literally every innovation piece of the technology sector. AI data centers and semis are most of the market. Their earnings came in at 40 cents per share, beat expectations, and they did guide higher. And we're seeing that reflected in the stock price. So despite the market going down, this one is holding up with some relative strength. And this is one of the under radar companies that, could compound, it being an AI sort of picks and shovels category. It just got cheap earlier this year when everything else pulled back. And although it did rebound significantly, this earnings and the relative strength, particularly while the past couple of days of the SPY have been red, signals that this could be institutions buying this stock and could go much higher. It's good for us. So we get to ride the coattails. NBIS. This one is a little different. It's sort of holding in here, which is, again, a good thing given everything else is pulling back. It's not a household name yet. Pure play on defense and border tech, which is good with Trump stuff, right? They've got contracts with the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Defense. And last month, they landed a $120 million deal for AI-based surveillance systems across federal facilities. So think like getting the data that then Palantir is going to surveil us all with. Sorry, but it's true. So that's a recurring long-term business, national security. And in this geopolitical climate, to say it diplomatically, this market is rewarding stability and government-aligned revenue because anything could happen. But we all know we're going to keep spending money. That's what the government does, even when Republicans are in office. And you're not seeing insane multiples on this company yet, which is good. It's still a sub-billion-dollar market cap. That could change. Technically, it is above $1 billion, $10 billion right now. But it's also been up a lot. So it's in the category of unicornies, but it's slightly more realistic because it has actual earnings. And we're seeing that reflected in it holding relative strength here while a lot of stocks go down. And their guidance was raised last quarter. Insiders have been buying steadily, which is a great sign. Meanwhile, Michael Saylor, has been dumping MicroStrategy. So NBIS is it's the kind of setup you want when the SPY is pulling back. And if you're looking for a stock that can go from basically unknown to possible household name in a few years, it can certainly have a move sooner. We've seen it make, 100% moves in just a few weeks. This is the kind of stock for you. So be careful, but I wanted to give you one that has explosive growth to the upside because I know my subscribers. So quick recap: Tesla, juggernaut. Clouds are clearing. Pay package was approved. Remember, the last pay package was a bit of a fiasco, but this one is all good. Deliveries are solid. Roadmap for autonomy and robotics is real, even though it's a bit delayed. GLW, the industrial play on AI and connectivity with AT&T, which you really need. It's not as sexy, connectivity, fiber. But if you have fiber internet, you know how awesome that is. Institutions are quietly loading up, and no one's talking about this, which is a recipe for us to make money. NBIS is this sort of security sleeper pick, federal momentum, real contracts with the DoD, DHS, breakout, fundamental, technicals, all lining up. So they're all buys, and they're worth holding into Q4. So even if the market pulls back another 5%, these guys are holding up, and they're probably going to be strongholds into the end of the year, which seasonally, annually is the best time for stocks to go up. Let me know if you're already in any of these in the comments, or if there's another under the radar ticker you want me to dig into in the future. You guys are awesome, and I will see you in the next one.